All right, we're back here in the kitchen with Harlan Mitchell. Now, Harlan, you also handle DUI cases.
I do.
All right, and the reason we're in the kitchen for this, mainly I just want to stand up and stretch a little bit, but a lot of you folks, this holiday season, you're in a similar surrounding like this, having, celebrating a Christmas party, where the office get together or just something with your friends or whatever. Alcohol is a big social drinking tool now. I mean, most every function has some sort of alcohol involved, whether it be champagne, beer, wine, or vodka or whatever. And you're telling me, though, it doesn't even have to be alcohol related to get a DUI.
No, you could be taking Lortabs or some other pain medication
that you've been prescribed
for. And if you take more than you should and it impairs your driving, you can be charged driving under the influence of a controlled substance. Even though it's illegally prescribed to you, if you're over-medicating yourself, you can wind up with the DUI. And if you mix alcohol with that type of medication, you can get what's known as combined DUI, alcohol and controlled substance.
Combined DUI? It's not twice the sentence, is it?
No, it's not twice, but it's combined of alcohol and narcotic pain medicine.
All right, let's just basically go over, if you get a DUI, what can that mean to you? What can happen to you? Your driver's license and stuff like that. How much is it going to cost you?
Well, the minimum fine for a first-time DUI is $600 plus the court cost. You got to go through the court referral program. They're going to give you a assessment to see what your drug or alcohol needs are, and you're going to have to complete their program.
You lose your license?
You lose your license for a minimum of 90 days the first time. Alabama requires you take a breath test or a blood test at the officer's discretion, and if you refuse to take it, you can lose your license for 90 days regardless of innocent or guilt.
Before you even go to court?
Before you even go to court.
All right. With that in mind, what do you recommend, being a DUI attorney, among other things, personal injury, divorce, whatever, what do you recommend? And I guess you may make some people mad by offering free advice here this morning. If you're pulled over and you've had a drink or two or whatever, what do you recommend for that person to do?
Well, I mean, the first thing you don't want to do, you don't want to tell them you've been at some restaurant or you've been at some party and you've had 2 or 3 drinks. You do have the right not to incriminate yourself, so stay quiet about it. They're going to ask you. You don't have to respond to it. And I would recommend not taking the breath test, because if you do, that's just pure evidence against you, and without it, they have a harder time.
All right, let's clear that up. Stop right there. You're saying that if you're stopped and they say you've got to take a breath test, do not take it.
I'm saying don't take it. Now, you're going to lose your license for 90 days.
But what's your chances of passing that breath test?
You know, that's up to you. Only you know that. I can't.
Well, if you've only had a couple.
And first of all, Harlan's not up here just telling you ways to get out of it. First of all, don't drink and drive.
That's right. Don't drink and drive.
But during this season, it happens to people, well, they're not out to get intoxicated, but they may have more than one drink or something at a party and then leave, and then they, but they may have a tail light out or something.
Right. One of the first things they can do is walk around their car and make sure all their lights are working, including that tail light, or tag light rather, and make sure the tag's current. I mean, that's some of the first things they look for is lights out late at night to give a probable cause to stop a vehicle.
Don't get smart.
Don't get smart. Be courteous, polite, and do everything they say. You can always tell them, I choose not to do this. You can be polite and tell them you don't want to take the field sobriety test. You can be polite and tell them you don't want to take the breath test.
But if you don't take the test, immediately can they arrest you right then?
Sure. And more than likely they will.
If you're arrested, what happens?
Well, you're going to go to jail. They're going to book you, and they're going to sit you down to, they think
you have to stay 12 hours in a drunk tank?
Well, probably they're going to give you they're going to ask you to take the breath test to make sure you don't read anything so you can get out.
And you're not going to take it again?
But you take it the second time, you don't take it the first time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, one other thing, Gloria brought this up to y'all. Know yesterday we were talking about this sipping syrup here that I got next door up at Tony's place at the Jiffy here, just to say, I said, what is this? It's called Grip and Sip. It's supposed to be a natural relaxer. You're saying that it has no alcohol in it.
Correct.
But it says do not drive a motorized vehicle after consuming this. This too could get you a DUI?
It could get you pulled over, stopped, and you could be of such physical inability that they charge you with DUI. Now, conviction is another story, but you could be charged.
All right.
There's a reason it says do not operate a motor vehicle.
All right, somebody out there gets a DUI. They call you, what's the next process? They come in and meet with you?
Come in, meet me, we're gonna sit down and talk about what's happened, what's gone on so far. We're probably gonna file to immediately stay the suspension of their driver's license and work that aspect of it as well as
The
working.
first thing you try to do is get their license back.
Well, I try to stay
it
the
from
suspension of it
suspended.
Right.
until we can work the whole thing out, till we can go to court and see what happens.
How much more are DUIs up during the month of December than any other month of the year?
They increase some. I don't know that they're any more than a whole lot more than the rest of the time,
Okay.
because it's a pretty level year round. Yeah, I mean, you'll see a
That's the
small influx, but not much.
All right, if y'all got any questions for Harlan, and not necessarily this morning, you can email Gloria at ztv@jamiecooper.com, then we'll get them to Harlan, and Harlan can answer those questions when he's back up here. So, but if you're looking for a DUI attorney, personal injury, whatever, give Harlan Mitchell a call, downtown Athens. That pretty much covered, or we need to talk about anything else on it?
To do it.
First of all, don't drink and drive it, and even if you do it, sipping on this little sipping syrup here,
Don't drive.
and taking, what's that drug we were talking about? Ambient?
Oh, Ambien?
Yeah, sleeping
That's
stuff,
a sleeping
yeah.
pill.
Man.
Well, I mean, you said the same thing with just Tylenol PM. Anything that you take that's going to impair your vision, your
Tylenol.
thoughts, Tylenol PM.
If you take
That
something like
knocks you out.
Tylenol PM that induces sleep and causes you to relax, and you're out trying to drive, and you're just all over the road, you're going to attract attention. And they may not, they may or may not charge you with DUI, but they can to get you off the road, because you become a hazard to the general driving public.
Getting out of a DUI is not inexpensive.
No, it's not. Nor is the cost of being charged with DUI.
But it happens to a lot of, it happens to good folks too. It ain't just
does.
your,
How long does that stay on your record if you're charged with the DUI?
Well, they're using DUIs for 5 years back to enhance your sentence. If you've had 2 DUIs within the last 5 years, then you pick up another one. You now have 3 for sentencing purposes. So you're up around $4,000 for a fine and a year of losing your license.
let me tell you, I won't call any names of my relatives, but I've got one relative who right now, he got a DUI in another state, neighboring state, has spent $20,000 as of today, should have called you, and has not gotten out of it yet. I don't say getting out of it like that, but I mean, it's just been put off, and put off. That's a lot of money.
It is. It really is.
Stupid act.
But it's going to cost you more for your insurance. It's going to cost you
We don't think about that.
time off work, everything. It's just
Time in court.
time in court. It's an expensive proposition. Plus, a lot of folks may have to take off to attend those court referral programs. Now, they offer them day and night, but
And since you've been an attorney for a long time, this has nothing to do with DUI, but a little bit. But we deal with some people from time to time at church or whatever seeking advice from an attorney. Yet, so people don't realize how you guys work. And having been in court many times in divorce proceedings and losing almost every time, people get impatient. They think you ought to be able to get something done today.
right.
Is that a major problem with people dealing with attorneys, maybe for the first time?
I don't think it is if you sit down and explain the process to people. Most people simply do not know the process. If you'll sit down and explain the process, how it works, then they have an understanding and they're a little more patient then.
Good advice. Know your attorney and know what they're going to do for you and know what to expect out of them.
That's right.
You might as well get ready to shell out the buck. So anytime you use an attorney, it is expensive, but it will save your butt in the long run. So y'all give Harlan a call. Hey, I also want to remind you, Christmas parade starts tonight at 6 o'clock here on ZTV 11. Thank all you folks for involved in that, putting it together. I got to say, thanks to Lee Anderson for going. Hopefully this thing's going to run on time tonight.
It will.
Way to go, Lee. And you'll see some of the Clements Choir at the end of it, too. But thank everybody starts running. There's the times tonight, Saturday, and Sunday, and weather-wise for the weekend.
It's going to be cold, so just bundle up. We may see a little bit of flurries, too.
And
That'll
the
be
best
okay.
advice we can give you, no drinking and driving. But if something bad does happen to you, call Harlan Mitchell over here, and he'll do the best he can to take care of that situation.